Alright, hey, this is Sam, host of Spies 7, and I thought, hey, I can't get to sleep. I just watched Trey's YouTube webcam spectacular, and I'm like, wow, that is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. I have to try it myself. If you haven't seen it yet, this is probably going to be shown after the game is over. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll probably make a post with all these links on it, with all the different confessionals that Trey has done, and you have to check them out. They're the most incredible things I've seen in all these silly games I've hosted. It's just incredible to see. He's hilarious and excellent, and it's just great. You have to check it out. So I thought I'd do it. I'm looking at the leaderboard right now. This is actually after Exile 2, after Lydia and Adrastea just got kicked out. What do I think about that? Lydia was just, that was just like one of the lamest exits I've ever seen in the entire time I've done this. It's just, and like I never would have expected that happened when I started, when I had him play. His name is Tripa. I'm looking at his application right now. This guy, this is like the craziest not crazy, one of the most nut job confessional applications I've seen. And I was like, wow, this guy is loopy. I have to have him play. And so I thought he would be a loopy spy, but not really. It was just kind of boring and got picked out real quick, and not what I was expecting. Now, why do I think he's loopy? Okay, I'm going to do a dramatic reading of this, because his characters that he submitted for his the one he picked for Lydia, you probably read Lydia's biography, you probably thought that was a little bit weird. That was the normal one. The first one was the weirdo one. Here, let me just read it off right for you. Character 1. I tried to just not laugh. When I first saw this, I just burst out laughing. I'm like, oh my god. This guy is great. Okay. First name, the Great Witten Hemarheed Nars. Age 35, male. Species. Now, if you recall, species was not one on the little list of, fill in the blank there, but okay. Species, shark, with the specific type matching up to the name. Occupation, the shark occupation. Occupation, freelance henchman. And then it goes on and on about like 20 years and hundreds of sharks. T.G. Witten was finally created with experimental lungs and a robotic brain. That is just so great. Because I'll have to post this for you guys later, but it is just so funny. And so yeah, and so I thought he would be kind of like I thought he would be out early, but I thought it would be like some explosion of craziness and drama and all that good stuff, and for him to just go out so lamishly, it's disappointing. Adrastea, I really like the guy. He IM'd me like every day, which is kind of weird, but it's good to hear what he's thinking. But if everybody IM'd me every day, I would never have any time to do anything except for write, yeah, that's interesting, in response to all their theories. But yeah, I thought he was doing really good the first episode. I was like, wow, this guy's doing good. He's doing like a secret spyish thing where he got Jaden and somebody else to fight with each other behind the scenes, and he was kind of like manipulating it all. And I thought he was doing a good job, and then all of a sudden, apparently that was too blatant, too obvious. It just all came to blow him up in the face, and all that. They just picked him out right away. Yeah, I think his problem was, a lot of spies have this problem, is they find out they're a spy, and they're like, yes! This is so cool. I'm going to do it. I'm going to manipulate this one, and I'm going to, be a puppeteer, and I'm going to do this and that and that. And citizens don't, obviously citizens don't think that way, but citizens don't, like, jump on the game day 2 and do things like that. So while the spies are, like, episode 1, episode 2, they're jumping on it. They're doing all this crazy stuff. Citizens kind of laid back. They know it's going to be a long road. They know it's going to take a while. And so, yeah, and they don't really do all that stuff right away, which is why I think she got picked out. But, and the other spies, can I say who the other ones are? I guess I can. Well, the other ones don't look like they're going to live very long either, which, okay, if I did this like a year ago, I'd be like super disappointed. I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, oh my god, all the spies are going to be gone before episode 6. You know, the game's going to be over, all my hard work, which might be, but, you know, I really don't think that's going to happen. I thought that was going to happen in the last game I did, which will probably be mentioned a lot, and I actually mentioned at the last chat, is, happened last in Spies 6. The same sort of situation happened. We had 3 spies out and the first 4 exiles, and I was like, oh my god, I'm doomed. And all these other spies were being figured out. And yeah, they did go pretty quickly. But Jason Pete stayed to the end, fooled everybody. And that was actually one of my favorite games, too, out of all of them. So even though I thought I was like all despair and the game's going to be over, it turned out to be fantastic. So in that respect, I'm not really worried about it. We'll see what happens. I mean, if it ends at episode 7... 8, I don't know if that ends then. That's not, that's not a problem. Which I think is something that's different as we're going to the 7th series. Something that's pretty much different in the way how I approach the game. Just because, I mean, the first time you do it, you're kind of like hyper analyzing everything. Like everything is a big deal. Everything's new. Like everything is. Like, the first time when I had all this Elias junk and people were like, he told me it was the real name and she said that and blah, 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 and all this crap, I would, like, go on these mini witch hunts trying to figure out the truth and trying to analyze who said what and get all the information and all this crap. Of course, all that then just made it 100 times worse, and it was terrible. And now I've kind of been laid back, you know, you have to just let things brush off your shoulder. Just have to not worry about it. All work out in the end, and I kind of feel like that's really helped me as a game designer. Anyway, blah blah blah. You don't care about that. How long are we going here? How much time do I have left for YouTube's 10 minutes? Cut me off. In terms of people in the game who I'm really liking, let me just go through the leaderboard. Find out who I like. I think Bianca will do a lot of interesting things in the upcoming episodes. That'll be interesting to see. Izzy's great, really intelligent there. Stone. Okay, Stone and me, and when who was it that did that? Clayton was like terrorizing Kathy, like, I know you're a spy, confess. And Stone was like, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing that. That's terrible. You're evil. And he was making all these topics, and he IM'd me, and he was like, Sam, you wouldn't believe what just happened. You need to get Clayton in trouble. And I was just like, what'd he do? And Stone was like, you know, he told me the story, and I was like, that's pretty normal. That happens all the time. You know, just brush it off. It's not that big of a deal. But I thought how he, like, overreacted to that was actually pretty good. Citizens do the wackiest things. I mean, you just look at all these citizens that's done the craziest things in the 10 days we've been playing. Irulan, some crazy stuff. Marcus, a whole bunch of people done crazy stuff, and it makes you look like a citizen if you're kind of weird. So I think that Stone was doing that actually helped him out in sort of an outrageous weirdness way. Who else? Henry's awesome. Yeah, the weirdest thing, I think all of us had like the same sort of feelings with Henry. The first we were like, oh, those capital letters, they're blinding me. And then the first days you're like, whoa, this is weird. What's this guy doing? But after like 2 or 3 days, and people like suspected him after 2 days, and they were like, we have to get him gone. That's so weird. But after the 3rd or 4th day, you know, you got used to it, and you just thought it was hilarious, and everything they were saying was just, he was saying is hilarious. You get used to it, you start believing in it, and you see him in that library, slamming on the keyboard without the computer to monitor it. Even the first day, I don't know if this is true, but the first day, his away message kept changing, like, help, I don't know, what's going on, is anybody out there? And I don't even know if he was talking to people at that time, but he was, like, acting, and it was great. Really quickly, who else in the future? Clayton is doing really good. He has a really good confessional, so I'm eager to see what he's doing. Clayton and Sophie are doing great. Both new players I'm really excited about having. Chloe is, well, I'll have to talk about Chloe later. Cassidy's great. All these people are great, and I'm going to talk about more of them, but you're probably bored right now, and I might be over the 10-minute limit, so I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching my first YouTube webcam video.